Hey guys, this is the Beast, and yeah, it's been a while. Um, I'm just gonna keep you updated with like some of the stuff. I'm I'm gonna go back to doing more videos. I'm gonna try to be consistent. This is like quick updates. So I'm gonna be try to be more consistent, even if my scheduling is. But I have some ideas, and more than likely. I think one of the coolest things I might do is this. Uh, no, no cool poof or anything like that. Really? Yeah. I'm gonna do a little bit of a. I'm not a PNG tuber. I'm literally not a PNG. I am just. I'm a drawing. A picture of a drawing that I did. But one of the main ideas that I was thinking of is I got myself a PlayStation 2 and then got myself a PS5. Those two things I'm going to mix and use, and more than likely record. Maybe record in a specific way to where more than likely I, as a person, might bring back the olden ways of how people used to record, while also still being able to do some other stuff. Probably one of the coolest things I might do is I'm going to probably do a second channel. I never really thought about it. In fact, I really was so committed in my mind of not doing so. But I want to do it as more of an experimental thing. And I'll have my own video introducing it. But for right now, the quickest things I can just say is, one, I am going to do a funny moments or best moments from X amount of time from this year to that year. So that video is going to is in process. So that's going to be quick editing. What else? Maybe even me trying to do more with what I'm gonna look like when it comes to my quote-unquote edited mode. So I'm just gonna switch it back to my normal self. So yeah, as I would normally say, I am going to show you what I have real quick. Of course I'm watching a YouTube video, so of course PS5. Ignore the monster, and a PS2. Now, I want to show you real quickly of the games I have. Now, I got some PS5 games. Of course, I got myself Resident Evil Requiem, so that's gonna be fun. Plus, Bloodborne. Bloodborne's gonna be fun. Resident Evil Requiem is gonna be fun. I tried a little bit of it. I'm kind of getting a moment of playing it on my own, but I am going to do a little bit of some fun stuff. But also got myself Tekken 8, so some online play of that is gonna probably be a thing. Either that or streams and stuff like that. I might use the second channel for more VODs, and then turn those VODs into, if it's meant, certain VODs will be normal, and then certain VODs are going to be specific to said video for this channel. So, I'm just going to show you some quick games that I might actually more than likely play that's on the PS2. On the PlayStation 2. So of course we got Mortal Kombat Armageddon. To me, childhood favorite. I played it as a kid, enjoyed it. Played it on my own. In fact, I got the PlayStation 2 before I got the PS5. Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty. What else? Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry, NASCAR 08, Call of Duty, World at War, Final Fronts. I might not play that one because it's different from the original, or like that everyone knows of. So, but also SmackDown vs. Raw, 09. But also there's 2 other games I might actually show you that I might actually as well play on the channel. May have to do a little something for like the music wise though. You know, same thing with NASCAR 08. But and maybe even SmackDown vs. Raw. But these 2 games, I was hoping that I could get myself 2004, Fire Night 2004, because to me that's, you know, childhood, and I love it. To me, seeing some clips from that game, from my childhood, and then made me realize of how much of just like, damn. Even if you knock the motherfucker out, no one is stopping. Like, it's like, damn. But round 2 still, like, I played a good amount of round 2 as well. Like, Jesus. Never have you ever seen, like, punches that were hard. Hold on, pause. But, also it kind of makes me realize about older games. I don't care what maybe a lot of people may say, but older games are surprisingly a lot good, especially if you go into the PlayStation 2 era, especially with PlayStation 2. There's so many games to where it's like, huh, these older games have this, and all these modern games still don't have the average thing. Like, huh? And like every average modern game just ends up looking the same. I don't know how. Always look the same, always. And I'm mainly talking about AAA, but every modern game looks the same. Hold on, let me fix my word. I'm running out of breath. Maybe because it's been a while. I made a YouTube video, so a little bit of nervousness is kicking in. Yeah, so nervousness is coming in. Not as much of the YouTube confidence is kicking in. But one of the main things about modern games is they always end up kind of looking the same, and also like play the same way as well, like gameplay wise and everything. Now there are certain games like Resident Evil Requiem. Seen like the whole entire gameplay of it. I've watched it before I got you know, the PS5 and Resident Evil Requiem, and looks good. But while I did give myself like a little moment of playing a bit of Requiem, there is I sound stupid for saying this, but people do say this a lot. Like, how the fuck does certain games don't have mirror reflections and others do? Like, I mean, I could name a lot of like older games that have that exact similar thing. I could say Silent Hill 2 has reflections. Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, literally has reflections. And then not only that, but also even like when you look at Need for Speed on Most Wanted, the reflections on the vehicle looks really nice. It looks really like top notch. And yet, it's also like another thing is like the visuals of an older game. They added it wasn't just like some bland stuff. It was like some form of like camera filter type thing, if you know what I'm talking about. Like, you know, like when you take a picture and then filter and then the whole thing is a different color, like black and white, or like the number one example I could say is the original Metal Gear Solid 3 compared to Metal Gear Solid Delta, if I'm right with the name. Metal Gear Solid 3, they're both good games, more than likely. The remaster, I haven't played. I've heard it's great, all that stuff. Even seen some clips, but it's the same issue that I have with Silent Hill 2 remaster. Is it's different in a mixture of it's a good thing but also a bad thing. What I mean is, as well as like for Silent Hill 2, yes, of course you could put it in 90s, make it go and look like the 90s version of it, but it doesn't even change much of the look either. It looks just, oh yeah, you just made it dark. Not really like how you would think. And I mean, I only played Silent Hill 2 during like Christmas, around that area, around that time, and of like last year. And pretty much saw some glitches, funny glitches, whenever I played it. But I am going to replay it, as well as some other games. But I don't know. I think another biggest issue is modern games. Yeah, of course, sometimes can be very addicting, but they're not. Like, it depends. Like, if you go saying with Marvel Rivals, best example. Marvel Rivals is, I used to been boom, 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 always wanting to play it a lot of times. When I seen gameplay, I'm like, fuck, I gotta play it. And then I used to do ranked, and then I play rank for a good amount of hours, and also get angry. So, what I'm mainly trying to say is, not a lot of modern gaming have as much of a hook as it would have, like with Metal Gear Solid 2. I literally got the PlayStation 2 and I started playing Metal Gear Solid 2, like it was one of the first games. I'm like, started playing. I went and ditched playing, ignoring me having Mortal Kombat Armageddon and fucking SmackDown vs. Raw, and my ass literally went and stuck in with it, like playing Metal Gear Solid 2. Mainly because it's good. And it's like good. That being said, it kind of proves my point of like, I can probably even play an old horror PlayStation, I could play the original Silent Hill 2, and probably might end up playing so much of it. But then, when I play the remaster, it just kind of, I don't know. There's something about older games that make it very good. But there's something about older games and something about modern games modern games give you maybe a little bit with like multiplayer and stuff like that addicting. Oh, you got into things. It's bright out colors and stuff like that. Or like some cool shit or whatever. But modern games, there's something. With older games, there's something with it. Like probably how good the gameplay is. Now, honestly, I had to get used to how older games would be playing, like gameplay wise and button setups and stuff like that. Just had to scratch my nose for a bit. But speaking of Metal Gear. Damn, I'm a little tired. Yeah. Pretty much I could, like, in my right now in my mind, I'm like, I want to play on my PlayStation 2 right fucking now because I'm just talking about it. Like, you realize of how much, I don't know, it's not even much of nostalgia. It's just like there's something with older games that makes it really good. And I think it's one of the main things that, like, modern games always look alike so much, but with older games it's not as much. Every kind of game ends up being so much different. Like, I could play Devil May Cry versus me playing Resident Evil 4, and I would probably say, yeah, there's a huge big difference with that. But yeah. Oh yeah, I got myself a fucking good old fade as well. Little update, yeah. Fucking And a little bit of physique, but I might do like a physique, picture of my physique a little bit. I'm not like huge, but I definitely gained some weight. Definitely, like, now I'm like easily getting to like 140. That's around my weight. So I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna have a lot of fun doing videos again. I'm gonna have even more fun and maybe go back into reaction videos, but not just go like, okay, pick specific videos, but like something to where maybe I don't want to go controversial, but more than likely I think some ways to where it can activate some form of like me having to interact with that video. More than likely, not just like sit there, watch, be like some people do for YouTube Shorts and stuff like that. They're just there, not even talking. Or now I understand, like, if I were to talk 24/7 within that video as well, I mean, that's an issue. But if I were to watch, react, and boom, just how it's supposed to be, then maybe I would like it. I used to watch react videos, but it's me doing reaction videos made me realize I'm not a big fan of them anymore. Unless they are very funny and they react, like, they do really good reactions. As I said, if anyone wants to respond to me, want to like take a clip from this video, mention and maybe use this for either an example of you want to defend modern gaming, or you want to go and agree with me and want to use me as a form of like evidence that like a lot of actually, I mean, there is one more thing. A lot of game developers, especially in AAA studios, don't really, they make the game to make money. They don't make the game to make memories, to make it fun. They don't do that. Indie developers, they want you to enjoy that game. They want you to enjoy playing. They want you to have the experience and the memories. That's why games like Undertale, fucking Peak, Undertale, Peak, fucking Lethal Company, Among Us, all these kind of games, even like when Fortnite was like somewhat new, it, especially even PUBG. I mean, PUBG was new, all that stuff. It's mainly because like new premises, and they were like, you know, yeah. And when people, but let me go back to how I was saying. Let me go mention the actual like indie developers. Pretty much a lot of forms of what's another good indie developer team? I think Silk Song. Now I remember, yeah. There's Cuphead, Bendy and the Bendy and the Ink Machine. Even maybe even like some of the ones that I would say like when I mentioned it, it's cringy, but like you realize if it's kind of true. Poppy Playtime. Fucking all these games are indie developers, and they made these games. Now, you're an indie developer, and you become successful. You have two different paths. Still continue to make good games, and not to have to treat your own player base as great, and not to get too far ahead of yourself, to still be humble and go like, I need to make the game for the players, not for the profit. Make games for the players and not for the profit. I think, and let me explain what I mean by make games for the players. I'm talking about pretty much for the actual people who care about such games, and who's originally, like when they got caught up into that game, and then you release another one and it's a banger as well, then more than likely no form, like even like a multiplayer game that, you know, don't have much of microtransactions, no pay to win or anything like that, but just like maybe, you know, you buy to kind of maybe get cool licks or whatever. That's only it. And even if you don't want to, like, you know, buy it, you can earn it. And I think a good example is Helldivers 2. So I mean, as I said, I can list so much, but I think Helldivers 2 is a good example as well. More than likely, I don't think gaming's dead. It just needs the right people to lead the right thing. And it's your choice of what to play and what not to play. But yet people do keep on buying, like, this is a realization that I thought of before making this video. And it's something about Call of Duty. I don't know why. I don't know how the Call of Duty Black Ops 6 was released within this, I mean not this year, last year. Now, it's been less than a year since that game has been released. Then Black Ops 7 is made and released. Like, I'm gonna be honest, you're just making money, you're just making games for profit. I'm sorry, Activision. I'm sorry for COD players that really don't care and just constantly want to pay buy new games and such things as that. But I mean, I'm just gonna say this. I would rather play the Battlefield 6 campaign than you know, Black Ops 7. Black Ops 7 looks like an AI slop, like an AI scripted slop. Looks like as if I was like tripping on acid. or you know all the wording and stuff like that. But what I can deeply say is, if I were to go and say something for Activision, I would say, yes, of course, focus good amount on the multiplayer, but never forget about your campaign. Make a campaign that is so good to where you want to replay it. So good to where the story makes sense. So good to where it's not like a fucking confusing thing. And I mean, one of the main things as well is what I kind of hate for certain games is paid DLC, like DLC shit. It's like, why? Why do I need to buy DLC for this character or that character or something like that? I get it if it's an additional, like, story-wise. I don't know why, now it's going more, my brain just thinking about fighting games. Especially Tekken 8. I, like, why not, to me, that's just like, especially one character in Tekken 8, who, throughout other Tekken games, he is very OP as, AF. OP AF. And he's a DLC character. Like, that to me is just crazy. That's just pay to win. Maybe not exactly, but more than likely, yeah. If you were to be able to play a character that can literally kind of, you just can easily kick a lot of people's asses, then yeah. Oh, God. But let me go back to my own, into topic. For a lot of games, I'm just gonna say this. And deeply, just, I don't know why I keep on taking off my hat from time to time and putting it back on. I don't know. But, I don't know what's the word. I think a lot of games need to realize, even when it comes to updates, updating, every time. In Tekken 8, with their new season, I've heard it's shit. And, I mean, going back into playing Tekken, before, I only played Tekken 8 for a bit, not as much, pretty much last year, played it, mainly because my dad had a PS5 and has a PS5 and got Tekken 8. And I'll tell you what, playing online was something. But going back, just buying Tekken 8 and then having my own PS5 and then going playing Tekken ranked, to be exact, I'll tell you what, nothing makes sense. There can be someone who can be kind of they look lower than you, and your ass get handed to. And I'm like, the fuck? Now I know it should have been a short video, I feel like. But I just need to say this. I think I need to say this one more thing. And I think this is an opinion, but also a thing that I should also say as well. And I gotta pull out this fact. This is the ultimate question of, why nowadays do I have to pay, this, speaking of Tekken and all that stuff, even Call of Duty, when I'm playing on console, and I want to play online, why do I have to pay online why do I have to pay to play online? Sony, Xbox, why do I have to get myself PlayStation Plus or Game Pass to play online. Because that's so much of you're doing it because you want the money. And to me, that's how you piss off so many people off. And there are some people that freak the fuck out. That get so pissed off to where they have to goddamn fucking pay a subscription to play online. Why do they have to do that? Originally, you never did that. What capitalist mindset is that? But it's not even capitalism, it's selfishness. Or not selfishness, more like greed. Greed of like, oh hey, you want to play this game for and all that, you can, yeah. But if you want to play online, you gotta pay money to play online. And it's like, what? Why? And like this is the ultimate evidence. I'm not trying to playing on PC or playing on my gaming laptop made me realize, well, damn, I could play Battlefield 6. I can play X amount of games that are online. And what ends up happening is that you go and be like, oh, like for PC, gaming laptops, stuff like that, you can play online for free. You can play a game online for free. But like, when it comes to PlayStation and Xbox, oh, you can't. You're limited. Game Pass, I don't think you should remove that shit and let players play online for free. Because I'm gonna be honest, let me say about Game Pass. Pretty much Game Pass, you have so many games to where you don't even have to go and, oh hey, you gotta pay to play online. No, you have so many games that makes it worth it. So just remove that. And for PlayStation Plus, I mean, I don't know. I mean, there is one of the things is like, you have so little for the lowest tier, and that lowest tier is, to me, completely not as good, and it makes it to where it's just like now it is cheap, like $10 for like essential for 1 month for PlayStation Plus. That's cheap. For Xbox, I'm sorry, but Xbox increasing the prices and shit like that, that's just fucked. But I mean, not only that, but also there was a whole thing that back then to where PlayStation Plus wasn't as it was before, or as it was now. It was a lot more simpler and a lot more like, okay. It didn't have tiers. It just only had a simple thing of you want it for a month, 3 months, or do you want to have it for a year? And no tiers, just be able to play online. And this is my ultimate point of why Sony and Xbox should remove having to pay to play online. And it's mainly because there are specific games that is only online, and I could deeply say this, and I have deep evidence. You can look at if you have a physical copy of Helldivers 2 or Battlefield 2042. Actually, I could tell you my experience with Battlefield 2042. Pretty much, I got about whenever it was like a specific younger me, whenever Battlefield 2042 was new and I got it from a GameStop, I put it in my PlayStation 4. And then the realization was there was no campaign. There was no offline. You had to go, and it was mainly online. And the biggest issue about playing Battlefield online is, as you guess it, you have to pay to play online. And Helldivers 2, it's the same exact thing. So, now, do I have to go and start myself a campaign to actually get rid of this? Maybe. But, if people would decide to agree with me with this as well, then once I have a good amount of people that would agree, then yeah, the people that would agree might as well, if it's a large amount of people, then yeah, I would probably go and mention it from time to time, and just like of how much we need to get big to have more freedom for console players. Like, I'm being straight honest, and it's not only Xbox and PlayStation, but even Nintendo as well. Nintendo is a good example as well. I mean, it should be already in the list, but I didn't even think about that. I just realized that, yeah. Even for Nintendo, you have to play certain games on. If you want to play a certain game online, you have to pay for a membership. And even like if you want to play an NES game or whatever, you also have to pay to play. Pay a subscription to play that, and it's offline. So you're kind of giving us not only just like, okay, you don't own your games, but also you don't get the full capabilities of that game, what it's intended to be used for. So now it's probably going to be an hour video from a quick announcement thing to me just talking about gaming, And it is sad. It is really, really sad. What proves my point of like why older gaming is much more better than newer games is simple. Like, there's not as much restriction. Now, I mean, it's an older game, yeah, but there's limits. But there's not a lot of restrictions that the game would have. Like, if I can connect, I could technically connect my PlayStation 2 with an Ethernet cable onto my Wi-Fi and play online with no cost at all. And yet, I go and want to play, for example, as I said, Tekken 8 online, to want to do ranked Tekken. Or, for the best example, if I want to go and play Helldivers 2, even just to play by myself, which sounds crazy for Helldivers 2, but if I wanted to play by myself and have that fun, why do I need to pay to play online? Because to me, that's just crazy. That's just something that I don't think a lot of even a lot of gamers don't even think of it. I mean, Sony's already doing stuff to where, yeah, angering their own fan base. Even Xbox is doing the same old thing, but I think the one thing that will always anger me and that no one really talks about is always having to pay to play online. No one ever batted an eye. They were like, oh, okay, and just did it. Mainly because I know by fact, when it came to certain games on PC, you know, I'll say this. I mean, World of Warcraft and stuff like that. Those kind of games, you log in and then you gotta go and pay to play online in this specific games, like a subscription. Now, I don't think fully, but you know, subscription gaming is so much of just like why do I have to pay that? I mean, Netflix is also having a whole thing with gaming as well. I mean, I saw on the Play Store of like, oh hey, you can play Red Dead Redemption on your phone, but like the whole thing is like, oh, you either pay the whole game or you can get it for free if you get Netflix. And to me, that's just wild. So, modern gaming isn't dying. It's changing, and it's changing in a negative way. But let's not lose our hope, because there are still games that is keeping gaming alive. There are games being made for the players and not for the profit, not for the money, not for poor excuses for that game. The game is being made, these games are being made with love and care. Wanna know why games like Siege and stuff like that, everyone doesn't like it nowadays? Because it's no longer made with love. Whenever it was brand new, I mean, I know by a damn fact everyone was reporting videos of Siege. And, in fact, it was one of my first videos. In fact, my first video. Now, I'll be honest, this is the truth about my own channel. My actual first video ended up being deleted because I chose to delete it. Mainly of the reason it didn't have a mic on it, and it was a Brawlhalla video. But technically, in an official way, Rainbow Six Siege is my first video. And when I can name you a lot of games that are made with love. The God of War series, 100%. Now, they made a platformer game, which is recent. But, I've heard it's a mixture of like, it's good, but also bad. Mainly bad. Which kind of proves my point of, sometimes people make games for the profit, not for the players. Not for the fun, not for the experience. Just for the profit. Just to fill their money. Not their money, but you know, to fill up their pockets. And the amount of money they have probably dumped into that game. And they keep on dumping that money over and over again, just trying to make that profit. And then they fail. And then they're like, okay, we gotta fire new people. We gotta keep on firing and firing and firing. And then you get new people and new people and new people that might take the job for less money. And to me, that's just sad. It's like a movie, you know? You're producing so many movies over and over and over, and they always flop. Probably the reason why it flops because you're just trying to make it for the profit, not for the money. I mean, not for the people. And honestly, I gotta make my videos to where I want to make it. I want to make my videos for you, for the audience, for people who might become fans of mine. Reason why I say might, because there's sometimes people click onto my video and leave, but then there's those who stay, and then there are some to where whenever I don't upload it at a specific time or a specific time period, mainly because of life is life, they unsubscribe. And those who have unsubscribed to me is unloyal. They're not really fans. But then there's 148 of y'all that are that committed. Probably haven't watched my videos again yet, but when y'all do, it does make my life a lot more happy. Like, I feel a lot more happy. Seeing someone watch one of my videos and then go like, oh wow, they went watch one of my videos and then went and watched another video because they loved it. They go subscribe, they go watch another video, they go and continue. Yeah. I do want that feeling. So honestly, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm making these videos for you, for me, for the entertainment, for your experience, for your childhood, for your anything. As I said, entertainment. I mean, you could be a grown-ass adult watching me and enjoy my content because you enjoy it. And as I said, like, I mean, I could mention so many, like, even just let me go into movies. I mean, if you're making movies just to make profit and not make movies for the entertainment, for the memories, for the great cinematic aspect, to kind of make it so memorable to where every quote from that movie or a show becomes so recognizable, to where every clip, people decide to make clips of it, and multiple, like it could be the same exact clip over and over again, but it's probably because people enjoy it, people love it, that people are willing to spoil other people because it's that good. And I think that's what people need to realize. You are a person of value. You have memories. So, and now it's, even if you're not a filmmaker or anything like that, you're just a person. And I think as a person, you should, every time you meet someone, even if for a second, make them remember you as a good person. Make them remember you as you. Don't make them regret remembering you. Or don't make them forget about you. But do not make them remember you in a bad way. Treat them with respect. Treat them with respect. And have respect for yourself. If they see that you have respect for yourself and others, meaning when someone's pushing your buttons a little bit too far and you address it, at least not in a rude manner, and just say it, more than likely, that just shows that you are not only selfless, but It sounds bad when I say it. Not only that you are selfless, but also you are selfish. Being selfless is good, but also can be bad because it makes you look like a pushover. Make you look like everyone can run all over you and stuff like that. Can make you do whatever they want you to do. They want you to do pretty much. Oh hey, you go do this, oh hey, and the next thing is just like jump off a bridge. Personally, you go and have respect for yourself as well. Because you care about yourself. You should care about yourself and you should care about others. And yeah, that is the truth. I would rather have a lot of people remember me for a lot of good things than a lot of bad things. But not everyone's gonna remember you for a lot of good things. Maybe even embarrassing moments. But everyone's flawed. But, you know, that's what makes you human. That's what makes you you. You make mistakes and you try to fix it. And that's what you should do. And that's how people should remember you. A way of making a mistake and then you fix it. A person can tell you, hey, this and that, of what you can fix, and you should fix it. Because that's a way to be better, a way to improve. So, study, learn, exercise, pretty much do a good amount of research, be smart. And what I mean by smart is be knowledgeable of the thing that you're gonna do. Be knowledgeable of what you're gonna do. If you're gonna start working out, don't just say it. Do your research. Do your research and look at every possible thing. You want to lose weight? Research. I know not a lot of people want to do that, but that's how you should do it. If you want to be a man, you gotta do your research. You gotta do your research, and pretty much there's a lot of sources. Some will say quite the opposite, but some will say the same. You take what works, and you take what doesn't. What I mean is, you don't take the ones that don't work. You take the ones that work, and use them. But you gotta make sure that they all cooperate. Because if you take this thing that works, and this thing that works, but they can't work together, then it just becomes a mess. But even if they don't work, maybe try to form it up, change it, and make it to where it works. Because that is a way that you can do it. So, yeah. As I said, and I will always say, at the end of all my videos, I always try to make sure that you all enjoy my videos. That you all remember and that you all enjoyed this video, want to see more, then subscribe. Ring the notification bell to get notified to a new video, like this one. It's always a thing I always say, and I live by that for my own YouTube channel. because entertainment is one of the ways of happiness. Good entertainment, to be exact. Not trashy, live short at the moment kind of stuff. If it's something that is stuck in your head, that is a good form of entertainment because it makes you remember. It makes it iconic. So, yeah. Here's my actual outro about now. So, if you guys hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did enjoy this video, enjoyed my words of wisdom, my forms of words, my announcement for upcoming things, my talk about video games, and maybe some other media, and maybe at least some form of life advice. I may be 20, but hey, you can get a life advice from a young kid. In fact, even I received some, and it is weird when someone younger has a really good life advice and you're like, oh damn. So, wisdom is in every shape and form. So, don't forget to learn. Don't forget to receive your knowledge. Be better, be stronger, be smarter. Make people remember you in a good way. But yeah. And if you did enjoy this video and want to see more of this, just me talking, of course, gaming, of course. I'm talking while gaming, maybe even talking about this type of stuff while gaming, then, subscribe. Ring the notification bell to get notified to a new video like this one. In fact, if you want to see some funny moments, I'm going to be uploading them. I'm going to be uploading some funny moments, things I've said, which is crazy and wild. As well as some other stuff that I, as a person, even I make myself laugh. And I love it. In fact, I could remember some of my quotes. But, as I said, make sure that you get notified to a new video as this video, alongside with some other videos. And, yeah. So, this is a weird feeling I'm having right now. And I do like talking. Especially doing this. To where I talk and actually, I don't care about the views. I care about if people really watched. So, yeah. And I will be happy if you've completely watched this and you are at exactly this time. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. Well, see you guys later.